How you doing? Okay, so I know this is a little late, but I've been thinking about lots of things, and this is mostly about Charlottesville as the crux of this video. It's what I've been thinking was coming along. Like this, they have this. The people who rule this world are trying to manipulate people into camps, and then demonize one camp. And finally, they've done it. They've manipulated people into the alt-right. And then with Charlottesville, in my opinion, they had this false flag where they have some agent drive into people. Now, you can argue it was a hoax, but in any case, I'm not arguing it was a hoax, but it's possible. Anything's possible. In any case, the event is out there. Right? So they were wrangling people to get into camps and expand the alt-right, and they did it. They expanded the alt-right through what? Through the entire Obama administration. That was seemingly what that was about. Like getting the Black Lives Matter up and running, and introducing us to George Soros and all that crap, and then of course there's going to be a backlash. So that pushes like other people into another camp. So people are naturally dividable or divisible, if you like. And the people who run the world, they know that, and they rule by division. So this is what they do. They give us issues to divide ourselves over, and we naturally do it because we're not skeptical about how these things come about. And I think we should be more skeptical. Like, is this for real? I mean, this is just fucking happened by itself? No, it didn't just happen by itself. It was created for us so that we could divide ourselves. We already have political division. They give us two parties, right? So, I mean, that in itself is obvious, but then they keep dividing us on as many issues as possible. So that if you even wanted to come together, you couldn't. You can't do it. They just keep feeding us divisive issues one after another. Climate change or global warming, whatever you want to call it. Cuts people right down the middle. Boom. And so that's a lot of separate divisions all over the place. That means that you and another person could be united in, say, 6 issues, but divided in 20. So you're not going to come together and march on Washington or wherever you're going to march. And that's all this is. How long this goes on, I don't know. I mean, that's for sure what this is. And I heard a black guy. I watched this video where the black guy was marching through Charlottesville. He's from Charlottesville, and he was just observing basically, and kind of broadcasting what he was observing. And he's like yelling at people, "Black love," and you people aren't from around here. He's talking to the Soros people, the Black Lives Matter people. I mean, he's like calling them out for what it is. You guys don't belong here. You don't know what you're talking about. Why are you even? What is this? This is alien. This is foreign. It's a put on. So, in his own way, he was saying what I agree with. I mean, if you love your neighbor, you're not gonna. He was saying black love, and he would go over it and explain what it means. But it's the same. It's love is love. You know what I mean? It's all about good, being good to other people, progressing in goodness, and Anyways, there was 2 messages there that he was giving. One is, you people aren't all about You're not about what you're saying you're about. You're lying. This is a manufactured thing here. So that was true, and he was saying it should just be about love, and that would be simpler. You wouldn't need to be marching in the streets. And I would take that argument further. I mean, if it's about love, it should be, I will just say goodness. If it's about goodness, like if you're going to be good to someone, if it's about cooperation and peacefulness, it should be about giving people room to express what is on their mind without shouting them down. That's the problem I have with these protests, is they're not discussing anything, they're just shouting. I mean, that's like a pep rally or something. There's no exchange of ideas. It's just, racist, go home, racist, or Nazi, go home, or whatever. And if you just listen to David Duke, you can hear that he says, I don't hate black people, and I don't hate. So it's not what the media says, that it's about white supremacy, and it's about hating other races. It's not that. But we're not given, I don't say we, no one is given the opportunity during these protests to discuss. It goes right to violence. And that's not good. That's not caring. If you're a person who's just shouting down people, you're not a good person. You don't care about what's good. You don't care about propagating goodness. You just want. I don't know what you want. It can't be good. You don't want free expression of ideas. Maybe what someone's saying isn't correct, but if they don't express it, then we can't challenge it, and there can be no debate, and there can be no common understanding in it. So just shouting down is just violence. It really is all it is. You hate. You're the one who hates. You hate my free expression, or whoever's free expression. And I'm not saying that I'm on this side or that side. I'm saying people say who were on the Black Lives Matter side or whatever it was. I don't know what they, anti-fascist or whatever you want to call it. They're just yelling. And they're not expressing ideas. At least the other side was expressing ideas, so that's good. But here's my problem. This whole thing is a setup. Completely. And like I said in another video, they're trying to gear up a right wing so that they can demonize that right wing with acts of violence that they set up themselves. The powers that be, Jews, whatever you want to call them. That's what they want to do. They only raise up this alt-right in order to demonize it, because they, in my opinion, it's just opinion, they would rather have a big shift leftward where there's lots more room for division. Like you have all these, on the left, it seems like you can easily divide the genders from 2 to like 20. So that there's so much room for lots of antagonism on the left, but on the right it just kind of becomes homogeneous, and that's not very divisive. So they just want to go leftward. That's just natural for these people who want to divide and conquer. Let's go leftward. So naturally what they do is they demonize the right. So everybody, especially white people, go, oh my God, I don't want to be seen as on the right, because then I would be seen as racist. And, People just, they don't want to be hated like that. You know, they don't want that discomfort. And I understand that. But, you know, I'm not here to take up the alt-right cause. I'm just saying it's a division that was forced upon us in order to smear all of the right and pretty much all of the white. You know, it's designed to bring white people down, and so that, you know, we have this kind of, at least on a level playing field, and then and then the manipulators can just do what they want, and there's no majority. If there's a majority, whatever it was, black or, you know, Jewish or white or whatever majority there is a bad thing for the rulers, because then they can't just impose their will. That's why it's bad. If you have a big group, let's say white Americans, white European Americans, if you have that big group, they want to chop it, number one, we'll chop it in half. Okay, you're right wing, you're left wing. And then chop, 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 and then demonize through racism and stuff like that. There's no racism anymore. That's bogus. That's a bogus issue now. Okay, I just gotta stop this for a minute. Okay, really what we have, it's not white versus black, it's not right versus left. It's really what we have is good versus, well, let's just say evil or whatever. Liars and cheaters. I mean, that's not good, right? So it's good versus not good. It's good versus deliberately bad. That's the same as saying evil, right? So that's really what we have. But the problem is the bad or the evil is in charge of telling us what is happening. So they're telling us it's black versus white, or it's liberal versus Republican. They're telling us that. But really, it's them versus us. If you include yourself, if the us is good, I assume I'm good. I assume that you assume you're good, right? But these people who are telling us these lies, these people who are informing us about how we should chop ourselves up into different groups, they are clearly bad, okay? They clearly want to rule this world and don't have good designs for our future. Maybe theirs, but not ours. Okay? I mean, that's pretty obvious to me. Maybe it's not obvious to you. All right, well, it's still going to come down the way they want it if they're in power, right? Whether you believe it or not. It's still going to work out that way. So, you don't believe it, but it's going to happen, and then you're going to have to live with the consequences. So do you want to join together with other good people and somehow get the word out that it is bad versus good? Do you want to? Or do you want to leave a shittier world for your grandchildren? Which is what is going to happen regardless of your race. It's going to be shittier for you and your grandchildren. Maybe not for the evil people's grandchildren, you know, Hillary Clinton's daughter and whatever their fucking spawn is. It's going to be great for them because they're in the club. People don't think there is a club. Oh, it's factions. No, there's a club. And Donald Trump is in the club. Okay? And he was installed just like Bill Clinton was installed. And they're just acting. They're acting their role. Obama was installed, and there was this big controversy about where Obama was born, and that went nowhere. Fantastically, Trump did nothing to pursue that. Just like Pizzagate, apparently there's some big pedophile ring. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't. But incredibly, this superhero Trump doesn't care. Hasn't heard about it. Super truther Trump hasn't heard about it, doesn't care. Or doesn't know about it. Give me a break. Okay? So, I mean, clearly, he hasn't, oh, he was supposed to prosecute Hillary. Didn't happen. It's not going to happen, okay, because they're in the club. They're in the same club. That's the deal. Okay, so there's this group. However they got there, they're there, okay? And they don't give a shit about you, right? They're not good. You know, if someone doesn't give a shit about you, or only gives a shit about themselves and their family, then they don't care about what good is. They don't even care about the greater good. They don't care about, you know, a peaceful future where, you know, everybody is enlightened, and that's not what they want. Obviously, they don't want that. I personally think they want to tear down whatever good there is and degenerate that into literally nothing until this whole consciousness experiment turns into nothing and just goes back to randomness. But that's my opinion. In any case, here we are. And I would like to point out that people on the left believe they are doing good by shouting, you know, go home, racist. They believe they're doing good by being anti-racist, okay? And then there's people on the alt-right and they're saying, well, yeah, we're pointing out differences between the races, but we don't hate the other races. So there's this whole disconnect. So each side thinks they're doing good. One side, the right, thinks they're telling the truth. And that's possible. But you can tell the truth and tell the truth, they'll say it's true. You can tell the truth to the left all you want, but the media is right there to tell the left to tell the left that the right is just evil. Okay, so these people on the left are good, but they believe liars. So as long as you have these liars controlling, is what's happening, controlling the left and their minds, you're not going to reach them by talking about differences between the races. Okay? What you need to do is focus on the liars and talk to the left and say, hey, we like good, okay? We want everything to be good going forward. We don't want war, we don't want conflict, we don't want the poverty, okay? And you don't want that, and we all want this all to progress in a lovely manner where everybody is happy, okay, and not stressed out every day. You have to come at it from that angle. Because we can all agree on that. Unless we're evil assholes, okay, we can agree on that. That's what the way you're going to come at it. We need to join, we need to unite, not the right, we need to unite the good, is what we need to do. Because when you say unite the right, guess what you're doing? You're consolidating one half of the people. Okay, well, guess what that is? You divided the whole into half. Well, it was already divided in half, so you just united half. Okay, well, maybe that's a start to something, but if you're just going to tell the left that they're idiots, well, guess what? They're just going to shout at you. That don't work with them. You got to come at them with your, touchy-feely stuff and say, look, we love you, man. But literally, we need to unite the good. I'm telling you now. That's what we need to do. And the powers that be, whoever you want to call them, the club, the liars, they know that that's what they don't want. That's the opposite of what they want. They want good to disappear. Okay? They want us all fractured and being all degenerate and, I don't know, degenerate's not a great word, but out for ourselves and, fuck the other guy. They want that because that does not propagate. That does not go forward. It doesn't build. That's not cooperative. It doesn't grow. It dies. That dies. You think it grows, but it doesn't. It dies. Competition's a good thing. I'm not talking about capitalism here. But friendly competition. You know what I mean? What they're advocating is, people at each other's throats and just undercutting each other, and eventually it's a race to the bottom, and eventually it's over. Okay, that's what they want. That's why they advocate leftward movement. So-called leftward movement, but it's like libertarianism to the max. Everybody can do whatever they want, but you think that means that everybody's going to accept everything, but that's not really what's going to happen. Because someone is like having gay sex in your face, and you're not going to like that or whatever. There's going to be something that you don't like when we just go all our own ways, okay? That's just not being respectful. You have to be respectful of, I don't want to say feelings, but what would it be? Respectful of whatever they are. You're this, well, I'm not going to shove that in your face. Okay? Just be respectful of that, okay? You're this thing, well, I'm going to shove that in your face. Okay? Come on now. You don't care about other people when you do that. Like, you walk down New York Street with your tits out? Really? Do you care about others? Really? No. You're aggravating people. You're a shocker. You're divisive. Just don't do that. Just be. I'm getting straying off the message. We need to unite the good. Okay. So like when I was watching Obama's, whatever he was leaving office, he was giving that speech, and you hear the people. He's just giving them pablum, but it's all very nice stuff, We did this really nice thing. We did this really nice thing, and so the people are all liberals. Yay! And I can feel that they mean it. They think they're doing good. They think they're on the side of good, okay? But what has really happened is good has been cut in half. And then each side believes they're on the side of good. But guess what? If you're on two sides, then you're not on the side of good. You need to join together. It's difficult. It's difficult because there are people, the media, the powers that be, are yelling at you that those people are different. They're not good. And this side is good. And that side, and then they get, other people in the powers that be saying this side is good. And so they even chop themselves up and, as minions and preach different things to us. It's very divisive. So it's my opinion that we need to see this racism, hatred, bullshit for what it is. It's manufactured. Okay, we need to see it for that, and it's not, just logically, why would they manufacture something like that? Obviously, it's to divide us. Why? Because they want to keep ruling over us and slowly dumbing us down into just emotional animals that can't think logically for ourselves. And that is going to affect you for eternity. Unless you can rebound in the next life or whatever it is that we do. You know what I mean? It has a net effect. And I think, I don't call them Satanists or whatever, but I mean, in terms of what they're doing, you could, if it's a Christian mindset that you have, then yeah, then they're Satanists. They're the spawn of the devil, the son of their father. I just don't believe the Bibles, but I'd have to put it in other terms, but it's a similar thing, so, yeah, they're evil, they're assholes. In my opinion, they wrote the Bible. Okay, and then, they wrote the Torah, and then they wrote the Bible, and then they wrote whatever the Muslims do, and they probably wrote, Mormonism, and is it going to end? Now, I think now these people are in control of science, and they're going to make, I think they're going to make that the new religion. Okay? So it'll be technocratic. Our future will be technocratic, and they'll tell us, well, we've done a study, and this is what is good, and this is how we should do it, and we'll just go, okay, well, the experts say this, so it must be true, and I just push buttons for a living like George Jetson, so what do I know? Okay, back to Charlottesville for a second. Like I said, they were trying to steer us into this spot where the right becomes demonized. And they did it through lots of, like in Chicago, where those the black people there took this autistic white guy hostage, and they fucking poked fun at him for a couple of days, and they live streamed it. I mean, seriously, they live streamed it. Now you can just say they're idiots, but I would just say that was a manufactured event. But in any case, it was an event, and it steered people into, it gave people fodder to be sliding to the right. Certain people. Not all people. I mean, a liberal will just go, it will just, whatever, that's over. I don't see that. So it's manufactured or, put out there to grab certain people and put them in a camp, and eventually that camp is wrangled by the leaders of that camp to go and protest taking down of statues, regardless of whether that's a good or bad idea. The point is to get that rally going, and then, in my opinion, stage a false flag. However they did that, I don't know. Whether it was that guy himself who rammed people, or some stunt driver rammed people and then he just pinned it on a real guy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how they did that, but they do things like that. So we need to just get over that. We need to not fall for these traps. The alt-right is speaking some truth, but liberals are not going to hear that truth. They don't care, because they've been told that that is bad. That truth is bad. It's just mean. Okay, so they're not going to hear it. So you're not uniting the bigger group. You need to unite the bigger group. You need to get the majority united, is what you need to do. So, in effect, unite the right was divide the whole. It didn't really change anything. It just made it more intense. More feelings were hurt, and some faces got maced, and, if you're smashing people over the head, do you really love those people? Are you all about good when you're smashing people? If you're defending yourself, okay, well, maybe, but if you're beating people up, you came to the peaceful rally with clubs. Okay, are you really a good person? Really? You came to the rally with feces? Do you really love your neighbor, or do you just want to smear feces on them? Okay, so somehow we need to unite the good. And I would like to say unite the truth, but even the truth is divisive. Because if you just take 9/11, there's so many different scenarios in people's heads, like, I believe this, and I believe that, and I believe that. You see all these different beliefs? Divisive. And I think that's why they give us lots of information, lots of little clues, like they give us the dancing Israelis. So some people go, oh, it was Israel. Or they give us the 28 pages. Oh, it was Saudi Arabia. Or they give us, Silverstein saying we pulled it. So, some people believe it was demolition or whatever it was. It's just it's even the truth is divisive, is what I'm saying. So I'm not coming at it from the point of view where we should unite truthers. It's not going to work. But we can unite people on the basis of what is good. I think we can. I think good is universal. And evil wants to win. Okay? So let's work on that. All right. Good day.